Hi. I guess you noticed the little sign up saying suffer the little children. And we're heading out now of the year 2024, going into 2025. A new year is about to start. And for the Critical Cognitive Aggressive Thinking channel, we hope that everyone had a wonderful Christmas and praying that we walk right on into a wonderful new year. But I want to push your button and talk about how would this new year be for our children? Because if I go back to 2015 and gradually look at the things that has happened to children over those years dating up to this point, I can give you a lot of statistics where adults have dropped the ball. And we have to do better going into 2025. Now, this is not a video to point fingers. This is not a video to try to make things seems like, this group of people is not doing this or that or the other. But this video is really focused on how we see our own children. Because those of you who didn't get the memo, our children did not have an active role in choosing their parents. They did not set up there in the heavenly places saying, hey, I want to go over here, or I want to go to a family in Dallas, or a family in Jacksonville, a family in Miami, or a family in New York, California. No, it didn't work like that. But the way it did work, two people meeting together, whether it was having fun, whether it was newlyweds doing what they do to consummate the marriage, whether it was planned by a husband and a wife, no matter what reason. It can be good reason, bad reason, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, 9 months later, and some of them may pop up a little early, that kid showed up. Sometime they're twins. We need to care more for our children. We need to understand that they go through what we call growth and development stages. Those are the tender years you get to really pour into those children. But I say this, if you're not ready, if you're not 100% sure that you're ready to take on such a responsibility, do your due diligence. To make sure that your partner understands that you have to practice safe intimacy. Because that'll cover a lot of things. Because a lot of children are born in disadvantaged situations. And it's unfair to that child when you or the husband or the boyfriend want to bail out of the situation all of a sudden. Because then it's too late. Children are very special. They're gifts. the blessings. And more I'm seeing where we're not treating them that way. And I say we as speaking as a whole, when I look at just right now, just talking to the United States, just saying what we do here in the United States. I know there's some rough things going on in other countries, but my point is, what are we going to do? We just had an election. We just had a new president elected, and we had a lot of talk about how they're going to deal with the different things that has to do with children, legislative, legislations and bills and all this stuff. I think that the most important thing, we need to get our minds right. And all of you out there that's having fun, kudos to you having fun. But my point is, what are we going to do when it comes down to the children? Because they are most important. We must put them first. Now, saying that, this is the Critical Cognitive Aggressive Thinking channel. I am your host, Robbie Williams, and what I want to do is dive into this topic. The topic that I chose for this video is, why are children an important part of the family structure? Why are they so important? The things I just said leading up to this, why are children so important? Even when you feel like you can't afford a new baby in the house, but you have that new baby in the house, I believe that God granted you power to deal with it, to deal with this new situation. He gave you power to care, power to love, power to embrace and accept, and teach this child through its growing stages, through the developmental stages, to get to a point where it can stand on its own. From birth, toddler, teenager, to adult. This is the power that we have been given as parents. Children are a very important part of the family unit because children will bring laughter during gloomy situations. And that is true. That's one of the reasons why. Because things can be a little shaky sometimes. And then the baby will come around, the child will come around just doing what it does. And you fall out laughing about what that child just did or said. And that's their superpower. They can make us laugh even when we down. You got to love it. That's that baby using its superpower to pour into the parents so that the parents can continue to pour love and support into that child. Now, if I'm not making sense, y'all tell me about it in the comments. Children have a way of teaching adults and parents, especially parents because they're around their parents more. But children has a way of teaching their parents how to be more authentic. teaching them how to be real, accepting life for what it is, being true to who you are, including your disposition, knowing your own qualities, knowing your gifts, knowing your talents, knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses. Children will bring it out of you. They will bring the best out of you. And if they bring that out of you, use that to teach them, to train them, to support them, to love them, to be there for them. We're going into 2025. And I hate to say this, but I've seen a lot of things happening on the news where parents are hurting their own children. Grandparents are hurting their own grandchildren. Children growing up into their teenage years, and then they are turning around and hurting the grandparents or the parent. We got to find ways to turn this around. Developing principles for children. And you can find a lot of them in the Bible. I'm just being real. A lot of us done got away from that because everybody want to have fun. Everybody want to do their thing. The wives are tired. They want to have their fun, so they ready to divorce. They ready to quit the marriage. Men, the husband, they ready for something younger. They ready for something faster. And then get out there and on. But guess who you forgetting about? When you do that, guess what? The children don't have a choice to jump up and do things like that. They don't have jobs. They don't have a means to support themselves. So whatever the parents got going on, they got to roll with it. And now we find out with children, they all out in the streets. They doing whatever they doing because guess what? There's no honor. There's no respect. There's no love. There's no, everybody is seeking for the, oh, what about me? Oh, what about me? And you find yourself alone like that. You find yourself to where you look back on it with regret. We got to do better because when we talk about developing principles and also embracing positive variations of life, being honest about your inner passions and align them with your fundamental beliefs in order to bring a foundation under those children and build a positive environment so that they can be in and where they can learn and they can grow and they have the opportunity to become something great one day. A lot of parents are sacrificing their children for their own success. And it doesn't supposed to be that way. They didn't ask to come here. They didn't ask to come here. I know we all, not all of us, but those who watch movies like Spider-Man and all this, I'm making a point here. Because when I say Spider-Man, people are going to trip, but I'm making a point here. In one of the Spider-Man movies, Peter Parker uncle told him because he's developing now, he's realizing that he has a superpower. And his uncle said to him, with great power comes great responsibility. See, we all want to be grown, raising a family, in a position of power. You don't have to get a leading job, leading role on the job to be in a powerful position. Because when you are raising a family, you are in a powerful position. You are bossing up right then and there because it's your responsibility to make sure those kids go through a positive growth and development stage. Your responsibility. Yes, it is. And that's great power. That's great power. You the one have to make sure that they get the food, the nutrition that they need in the home. That's great power. That's great responsibility. You the one responsible for those kids to wear clothing and to get other essentials that they need. That's a great responsibility. So as we head into 2025, I would love for you parents to think on this a lot. Because you can't blame society for all of the problems that you have with your children, especially if you have a home where you invite negative people, where you invite drugs and alcohol, where you invite parties that is not conducive to their personal growth and well-being. When you are inviting bad things in your home around your children, even bad people in your home around your children, you change the environment from the inside. And if you think that it won't have a long-term effect on them, think again. Think again. Think again. That, what I just read, with great power comes great responsibility. That was something that was written by a French author back in the 1800s. And the 1800s back in old time was considered the age of enlightenment. And I thought about it and I'm like, it's something else. It's something else that was stated even way before Voltaire coined that statement. And what I found was in the Holy Bible, Luke 12th chapter, 48 verse, King James Version now. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall much be required. Let me say this again. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. I hope y'all got that. A baby being born, even conceived, is being given much from the God above. He's giving you much. And when he give you much, he require much from you. So when we sit back and make it seem like, oh, these just children, but some people act like children are not much, but they are. Luke, the 12th chapter, 48th verse, King James Version. One more time. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. So how can we walk away from our children? How can we leave our children in disarray? Think about this going into 2025. Like I told y'all before, I work in an environment where I don't do it now, but when I was going out to the homeless shelters a lot, working with my clients, there were teenagers homeless. Teenagers. And the only question I can ask myself, how did a teenager get to this point? What happened in previous years? What happened while they were toddlers? What happened? That they end up homeless and not even adult. Think about it now. See, this is not fun and game. This is for real out here. And I ask myself that. See, when we take pride in loving our children, when we take pride in taking care of our children, because just because tongue and teeth fall out between mama and daddy doesn't mean the children have to suffer for it. I know some of you are going to catch on with the tongue and teeth falling out thing. That's old school. But it's not the children's fault for y'all misunderstanding. Children should teach us how to enjoy the little things in life, not running out trying to get a Gucci handbag. A lot of women take more pride in that than they do the children. Sitting home loving, teaching, and dealing with their children. Some guys take more pride into working on a car, making it faster. I'm a muscle car enthusiast, so that's just the reason why I use that analogy. But there's so many other things. I can pick out the negative things that parents do that pulls them away from their children, and they don't even think about it, don't even blink an eye. It's no big deal. I'm going to have my fun. If he can do it, I can do it too. Women running around here thinking like men. I keep saying this. I can bring up the person who, you know, but I'm not into all this other stuff. Think like a man. Now you got two husbands in the house, and that's why they're fighting so much. Men used to be the disciplinaries. They used to be, I'm gonna tell your dad on you. And let me tell you something. They tell you when the mother say go clean up that room and she go and check 30 minutes later, it ain't clean. I'm gonna tell your daddy. Next 15 minutes, that room cleaned up. That was back then. Now they disregard anything the parents say. A lot of the mothers raising them by themselves. So guess what? The only people they listening to is the friend in the streets. And some of them peddling dope for somebody else. It is what it is. But my point that I want to make to you is learn to enjoy the little things with your children because they don't see thousands of dollars. They see what you do for them the here and now. Children have the superpower to make their parents feel at ease. And sometimes when a parent or both parents is in a nasty mood, that child can do something to just lighten up the house. Everybody laughing. They got that superpower to make you switch moods. And I'm just speaking on the positive side of that. When you witness your child going from that baby stage where it was just totally dependent and then got into that toddler age where he's exploratory or she's exploratory, she's all over the house. And then they get into the preteen and then into the teenage age. And you witness that. And if you're with that child through that process, teaching that child, being there for that child, giving understanding when that child needs understanding, just walking that youngun through life, you have a better chance of being able to continue to tell this kid what to do and what not to do and the goods and the bad and all that stuff. Than running around trying to make your money, trying to be boss lady, trying to be boss man, trying to be whatever, whatever, trying to be, in control of everything. I can tell you right now, 2025 is not going to be a joke, especially with these young folks. We need to get control of the ones that we can, start teaching them. I love the Pee Wee leagues where they got T-ball, where they got the Pee Wee football. I love stuff like that because they got to be around people, giving them instructions, teaching them, and they become more successful in life when they can follow instructions. When we think about children and we think about their emotional, cognitive, and social development, all of those areas are impacted by a cohesive family structure or a non cohesive family structure because you're going to get it for the good or you're going to get it for the bad. If you have a great family structure where everybody's on the same page and we understand that, listen, I want my child to have the best. I want to teach my child how to respect his aunties, uncles, uh, you know, older siblings, grandmother, grandfathers. When you're teaching your children these things, they walk away with principles that you can't pay for in a store. You can't find it. Think about it now, because they need that for growth. They need it. Children have a unique ability to cope with stress, and it is directly correlated with their sense of being part of a strong, sturdy family structure. Children, if they're in a family that provides them with a safe environment and the family structure is strong and sturdy, where you have principles, where you have boundaries, where you're teaching them everything that they need in order to be successful in later years. Less children commit suicide when they grow up in family environments like that. Think about it. Children also need to see family units offering them on a continuous basis a sense of belonging, emotional support, and stability. If you're the type of parent that love your children, they will make you want to do that. That's their superpower. They'll make you, they will give you that feeling where you be like, I just want nothing but the best. I want to just make sure my child is okay. I want to learn new things. I want to grow with my child. I want to grow as a parent. I want to be the best parent I can be. I'm not going to jump out this plane pulling my parachute just to escape this responsibility. Much is as much is given, much is required. That's all it is to it. The children is much. Not that Gucci's handbag, not that brand new watch, not that chain necklace and all this and stuff that we take pride in, but we don't take pride in our children. Hmm. Oh, I'm a bank manager now. I'm a bank manager now. And I get round, I'm yelling at my children like I'm at work because I done took on that persona that I have on the job. I'm bringing it home with me. A lot of you men and women are doing that. Some of you women go home yelling at the man like he wanted the children because you bringing that persona home with you when you should leave it in the job. You're a boss lady, good. Yay. Leave that mess at the job. When you come home, you're a wife, you're a mother. I'm just saying, because some people don't know how to turn it off. Because some children, their superpower ain't strong enough to make you turn that off. So you got to learn, you got to grow, you got to shift gears, you got to be able to get better. You have to wonder how can you be a better mother, even though now you're a manager, you're a supervisor, you're whatever on the job. Lord, please keep me humble. Please keep me submissive to my home, to my husband, to you, Lord. Oh, I said the wrong word, submissive. But I tell y'all what, children paying the cost. They paying for everything we do wrong. Our children are very special, whether they're born in a rich family or a poor family. Things are happening to children on the school campus that shouldn't happen. Things are happening to children on playgrounds that shouldn't happen. Things are happening to children at home that shouldn't happen because we don't take pride in it no more. We don't take pride in being a father. Oh, but I do thank God that I do see some people on Facebook posting, things about, Father's Day and stuff like that, being proud of, talking about their children and things like that. I like that. Nice stuff. But I pray and hope that we all can come together as a community. Everybody want to shine nowadays. They don't care about what children. No, I just want to shine. I want to make sure everybody see me. I'm telling you, 2025 ain't gonna be no joke. Get ready. Buckle up. I want to see more children following their parents' instructions and not cussing their parents out. I want to see more of that, like it used to be. Because if things keep going in the direction that it's going with these children, that you can't say a word to, because they can be just as wrong as two left shoes, and you correct them. Now you got to deal with a mama that's a motor mouth coming at you because you corrected the child when she should have been corrected him. There ain't no fathers at home, not as much as used to be. And that's why I said it that way. Because if you have real fathers in these homes that's doing what they supposed to do, and this is no shade on nobody, it's just saying this is what our world looks like right now. Those kids will not be out there cussing the old lady out down the street or cussing the person out in line at Walmart, you know, or different other places that they go and shop. Publix, doesn't matter. Winn-Dixie, doesn't matter. They must start learning to follow parental instructions. Learning to, parents can teach their kids how to build friendships, how to know where the friend you pick is going left or right, to whether you want to either back away and say, I can't deal with this person no more, or whatever. Teaching them these things, giving them a little foresight because they are special. Wrapping this up, we must get back to what I said before about building communities, building families, so that these children can see a model of what things supposed to be like and what they should be like. Because kids bring so much joy into a family. But if you cover the joy that's in the child by mistreating these children or allowing these children to go buck wild, you'll never see the doctors that they can become, the lawyers that they can become, the baseball, professional baseball players that they can become, professional football players they can become, professional, basketball players. But not just going in these leagues with no sense of how to corral their thoughts and critically think through different situations, but going in there because they came from good, strong families, knowing how to carry themselves. We got smart kids, but some of us don't even know how smart our kids are because we so caught up in ourself. We so caught up in ourselves. Got little doctors, scientists, physicists, lawyers, running around the house and you don't even know it because your focus is on the man or on somebody else's man, on the woman or somebody else's woman. I mean, it's just face it. 2025 right around the door. And I'm giving you this about let's focus on our children. Please subscribe. View my videos. When you get to my channel, look at some of the other videos. Some of them, yeah, they old, but if you hadn't seen it, it's new to you. Share my videos. There's somebody you think need to hear something like that. Subscribe to my channel if you hadn't. And let's go into 2025 with the new mindset about our children. And I placed some sources down that you would be able to read in the description box and, just take a look at it. You can go to those sites and pick up on some things. They'll lead you to other sites. But at the end of the day, this is the Critical Cognitive Aggressive Thinking channel. I am Robert Williams, and I would like to say Happy New Year to you all. And I have another video coming after the new year. And good night. God bless.